Alright, so this is going to be a bit of a comparison here. We're going to be comparing the Action Army AAP-01 over here on my left to the WE Galaxy on the right. And before I start this video, I just want to let you guys know that I really personally, I really love the AAP, and I really don't like the Galaxy. But I'm going to try to keep this video as unbiased as possible. But there's a lot of reasons, and I'll get into that as I'm kind of going through these pistols, okay? I'm going to go step by step. So I'm going to start off with the magazines on the guns. So let's go ahead and move this one. I do already have these filled with gas, just so I don't have to fill it during the video, because that could be annoying. Right. So on the left, we got the AAP one, and on the right, we have the Galaxy. As far as the actual physical magazine itself, they're very similar. So your kind of cuts here for loading from the bottom are going to be the same. The main difference that you're going to have on the actual metal part of the magazine is going to be the AAP magazine is an ambidextrous magazine because the gun is ambidextrous, whereas on the WE Galaxy, it is only going to be for right hand mag release, right? On the top, your feelers are going to be different, and same thing with your valves on the top are going to be different. But each pistol is going to want the one that is kind of meant for it. All right, let's see if this one can stand up. Okay, and then very similar in the back again, just kind of different brands do it a little bit differently. All right, and then if you're looking for base pads, there's the bottoms of the two mags. So this one you're going to want to have base pads that use the hole follower, and this one you're going to want the ones that use the eye follower. But you can get base pads in both kinds fairly easily, so just keep that in mind when you're ordering your base pads. And since we're on the magazines, we'll go to the mag releases. The WE one is a normal Gen 3 Glock mag release. So it's a tiny little button, and it's only for right hand. You cannot do it on the left hand side. It's just different. Whereas on the AAP, it is a way larger button, and that is because you can flip it to the other side, and you can flip it. So this side looks very similar for both guns, but it is going to be different. So AAP, you need to have a Gen 4 Glock magazine release, right? Whereas these ones are going to be the Gen 3s. The Gen 3 ones are far more widely available online, so it's going to be easier to get custom magazine releases for the Galaxy over the AAP, but the AAP just in general is a better magazine release. Get more options there. All right, going to the slide catch while we're on the topic of ambidextrousness. The WE Galaxy is again going to be just the normal Gen 3 Glock magazine release. So it's only on the left hand side. There's nothing on the right hand side of the gun. So it's only going to be for right-handed shooters. You're the only ones that are going to be able to effectively do that. Whereas the AAP has it on both sides. So it's up there, and same thing on the other side. All right. The problem with this is going to be semi-proprietary, whereas on the WE Galaxy, there is lots of options for these slide catches as well. So there's a little bit of trade-off between just a good stock one or the ability to upgrade. But personally, I like the AAP just because it's natively ambidextrous friendly, whereas the Galaxy is not at all. All right, so we're past that. We're going to go with your safeties on the guns. So they both have the trigger safety. They're going to function very similarly, so I'm not going to really go over that. You just get a different kind of style trigger on there. So AAP has kind of your classic Glocky one, and the WE one has kind of your upgraded Glock one, like the flat trigger. But the safety, so like the physical safety besides the trigger safety, on the Galaxy is going to be inside of the grip. So it's a bit of a pain. It's that little silver piece that you can kind of see in there. So it's a bit of a pain to access, so you're not going to be able to really do it in a game very effectively, but it's there if you want it. And on the AAP, it is going to be like a shotgun safety. So it's this bar in here that I can press in from the other side. If I can do it, my fingers are always weird, but you can hear that it clicked, and now it's on safety. And then you just pop it back out the other direction, and it'll go to the semi again. So this is a better safety. It's more usable during a game and that sort of thing, but yeah. And now, other externals that we have left. We have the top of the gun. So Wii Galaxy, you have just a green fiber front, and then the back is just going to be flat, just flat black. Whereas the AAP, you're going to have fibers on the front and the back in contrasting colors. So you have green in the back and then orange in the front. AAP's really, really, really nice sights out of the box. So that's a definite win there. And also, while we have it like this, the backs of these are going to be a little bit different. So the AAP is going to be able to accommodate charging handles and stuff way easier because there's lots of mounting points. So you have basically 2 dimples and 1 threaded hole, whereas the Galaxy is just flat on the back. So if you ever want to mount a charging handle or whatever, it's way better on the AAP than it is on the Galaxy. It is the same size, so you can put one on the Galaxy. It's just going to be a bit of a pain to get it to stay on there good. That's about all the looks on the outside. I can go over my personal preference as far as like looks. I prefer the upper on the Galaxy. I really like how it's the one solid piece, and I like how the bolt looks. I like the little silver pieces in there. That makes it look really nice, I think, at least. But I don't like how the upper meshes with the lower. I feel like it's very ugly how the two kind of join up. It looks like it's kind of like a Frankenstein gun, kind of, to me at least. Whereas on the AAP, it looks like it was really meant to be connected together. It looks perfect. All the lines are all matching and all that sort of thing. Even if I prefer the other upper, I prefer this gun in total, just because it kind of matches up. It looks like it's meant to be like this. And we're gonna go a little bit on the inside of the guns. I'm not gonna be taking anything apart. So this one's, the Galaxy is gonna be a little bit limited, but you'll see in a second. So on the AAP, I will cock it so I can open it up. And then the Galaxy, we'll cock it again. And you can see on the Galaxy, it hinges and it stops. It doesn't come off of here without punching out this pin. I'll punch out that pin here for you, but that is definitely like an annoying thing. Like if you're in the game and you want to like check on something or whatever, it's a bit of a pain. Whereas on the AAP, it comes apart super easy. So let me grab a punch real quick. And this is a screwdriver, but it's basically a punch, right? There we go. Okay, so they are definitely like very, very different on the inside. As you can see, let me move these out. They're close to the same length, but the whole workings of the gun is completely different. The AAP, there are a lot of upgrade parts that are coming out. The Galaxy, there's not. So if anything breaks, you need to contact the factory, see if they can get you any replacement parts. But Galaxy, you can just buy upgrade parts if anything does ever go wrong on here. And again, it's a little bit different. So sharing magazines is not exactly gonna work correctly, but you can make them share, but they're gonna kind of want the configuration on the magazine that comes in the box. Okay. But yeah, there's the tops. And the switches are gonna be the same for the FullAuto. For Semi, it's definitely a pain to like switch it, but that's just the way that it is. And then in the backs here, you can see that they are, I'll move these out of the way again. You can see that they are very, very similar in the back. They're both based on the same thing. So inside of the housing, it's going to be identical. They're both going to be Glock 18C stuff, but the housing itself is going to be a little bit different between the two, just because of the nature of the way that the gun is designed. But all the internal parts are all the same, pretty much, in the hammer housing. This one is going to be running off of bearings, which is a little bit different, whereas this one over here is going to be running off of a rotor. So for those of you who care about that, that's the two things up there. Up front, nothing real different, aside from the fact that this one's going to be ambidextrous and this one's not going to be ambidextrous up front, but not much of a big difference. It just is a difference. And we're going to put these back together, if I can. Maybe. There it goes. Oh, that's definitely annoying. I don't like how they did this. There it goes. So definitely a bit of a pain. It doesn't want to go back together. Right, and this one's very easy to put back together. Alright, and then in the box you do also get rails for both of the guns. The rails are basically the same thing. The Galaxy one's going to have 3 screws per rail, whereas the AAP one's going to have 2 screws per rail, but it's really not much of a big deal. And now we're going to just do some dry firing real quick, just to show you guys the snappiness and all that sort of thing. So, we'll get this one loaded up. Bolt back. Oop. Alright, and then we're just going to do semi-auto firing, and I will let you see my finger and all that sort of thing. So, you're going to release the slide, and then as I pull it, right here is where the wall is, right? And then if I shoot it, it's like that, okay? So let me shoot it with the bolt catch held down, and then you can see the reset. Alright, and we're going to switch over to the AAP now. So first shot, we'll see bolt catch open, so we have a lot more take up on this one versus the Wii. And then there we go, and we can let go, reset, it's right there. Now we're going to do it holding it down. Much less travel to reset it, I will say, but you have a lot more take up in the beginning. Alright, and I mean I kind of prefer this one. I kind of train the extra movement out of me when I'm playing. So like this part here where it's all wiggly, like that part doesn't matter to me at all. I've trained myself to kind of know where the ending point is, right? I don't fully release my finger after each shot. I don't go like I don't do that. So as long as you can kind of train yourself, it doesn't matter how much travel is at the front of the trigger. All that matters is the reset and that sort of distance. Okay. We're going to go to full auto real quick so I can show you guys the fire rate. So we're going to open this up, and then the switches are always a pain. I hate them, and I never shoot my gun on full auto ever, so it's not a big deal to me, but I know a lot of people do. And this one's a pain. There we go. I know I can't do the Galaxy one with my finger. It's way harder. Okay, there we go. All right, so we'll start with the Galaxy. Nope, I'm just dumb. Okay, there we go. That's what the rate of fire is going to be on that one. And then on this one, we'll hold down the slide catch this time. So I mean, it is going to be a fairly comparable rate of fire. They aren't. There's not much of a difference as far as rate of fire is concerned between the two. I think it's basically just a negligible difference. It's more on this gun, performance-wise, they're going to be very similar. But as far as like upgradability and that sort of thing, you're going to have just a little bit more options with the AAP. Plus, it's going to be cheaper. And the AAP is a growing market for aftermarket stuff, whereas the Galaxy has just been the same thing. They haven't released any upgrade parts. No aftermarket companies have released upgrade parts for this pistol. It's just basically been stock. But you can do like pretty much the whole lowers on both these guns. You can do basically the same upgrades on. It's the uppers are going to be different. And the AAP, you can do upgrades on the upper. All right. That's it for me today. I do like, as far as my opinion on what you should get if you're looking between the two, I really think you should get the AAP. It's just cheaper and it's better, I believe, at least. But they both exist. They're both not bad guns by any means, but yep, I will let you decide or whatever. And that's going to be it for me today. So have a nice day. And I do want to show you guys, I got some patches, which are cool. Little Velcro patches. But that's it. Have a nice day.
Back road dealer, 100 different ways to ride. If you'd have seen what I seen, done what I done, you'd be looking for